War is Hell is believed to be a fan episode of SpongeBob SquarePants that was created sometime during 2015 to 2022, although the exact date isn't yet known. It was discovered by an anonymous individual in his local video store, who at first thought it was just a pirated episode of SpongeBob that was ported to DVD. The voice acting in the episode is unusually accurate to the actual show itself, although you can tell it isn't the actual cast if you've watched the actual show enough times. The animation is in a similar style to Season 2, although more desaturated. The creators of this bootlegged episode are completely unknown, although it's theorized that it was created as some kind of anti-war PSA. The episode itself begins with a relatively normal plot for the show at first, which involves SpongeBob working at the grill and trying to get the attention of Squidward. SpongeBob then immediately remembers that Squidward wasn't even there, and that he had apparently called in sick for days up to that point. Mr. Krabs then bursts out of his office and is obviously enraged at the fact Squidward hasn't attended work for days, yelling out that he will make him pay dearly. Mr. Krabs is then interrupted during his vicious rant by the doors to his establishment bursting open to reveal two fish in military clothing, ones that had never been in the actual show. Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob rush up to them in an attempt to serve them, probably believing they were possibly health inspectors. The military fish reject their offerings and bluntly state that the true reason for their presence was to in fact draft SpongeBob in the war against King Neptune's enemies, lest he be arrested and fined. SpongeBob gives himself up to them without a fight, much to the dismay of Mr. Krabs, who tries to bargain with the military fish to no avail. SpongeBob is dragged away by the military fish, donning a fearful and depressive expression as he leaves. A
5 months later
time card then pops up, which is shown on a plain gray background. No narration is present. It cuts to SpongeBob piloting a military aircraft that is similar to the one he built in sandcastles in the sand. He was flying above a kelp forest at night, which was the same one seen in Club SpongeBob. SpongeBob was unusually gloomy while piloting his aircraft, with him just staring blankly at the night sky. This goes on for about 2 minutes, with SpongeBob slowly beginning to hum to himself the Best Day Ever song in a depressed tone as his hands begin to tremble a bit. SpongeBob is then interrupted by a radio that is off screen.
Now's your chance. Give him hell.
A gravelly, blunt voice on the radio blurts out. SpongeBob follows these orders without question and presses on a button in the aircraft that is labeled as Release, which immediately opens up a hatch that has a substance which is similar to the looks of Agent Orange, a toxic substance used during the Vietnam War. This gas flows out of the plane and into the kelp down below, which begins to decay the kelp as blood-curdling, horrific screams begin to be heard down below. SpongeBob just continues to focus on the skies, slowly beginning to sob to himself as he continues to hum the Best Day Ever, while the screams below are getting louder and louder. This just makes SpongeBob agree to himself more and more, to the point where he is near the point of a full-blown meltdown. SpongeBob is clearly horrified at what he was doing to the people down below, knowing full well that the substance he released was certainly fatal and would have permanent damage to the affected land. By the time the toxic substance finally stopped flowing out and the screams began to subside, it was apparent that SpongeBob had snapped.
Have to forgive me.
SpongeBob mutters out, before abruptly making his aircraft nosedive into the forest down below, causing a violent explosion. We then pan down to the carnage below, which reveals SpongeBob's destroyed aircraft as it and the kelp surrounding it burns away into the night. A 3 months later time card pops up, which is shown in a stormy night sky. Once again, no narration is present. We then cut to a graveyard similar to the one seen in One Crab's Trash. SpongeBob has now been buried, and his grave is caked with flowers placed by friends and family. We then see someone approaching the grave. This is revealed to be Squidward. He appears unkempt and somber, looking as if he hadn't slept in days up to that point. Squidward only stares at the grave in deep sorrow, appearing to inaudibly whisper to himself. Humming of Best Day Ever can be heard in the background as he continues to stare somberly at the grave of his frenemy. This goes on for about a good minute, with the humming getting quieter and quieter as it goes on, to the point it isn't even audible anymore. Eventually, Squidward says something in a depressed yet greatly angered tone.
Where's hell, SpongeBob? Where's hell?
He exclaims before walking away.